that beautiful, elegant plate of chocolate dipped strawberries. That's a very easy thing to bring, and everybody will be impressed. Hey everybody, let's talk strawberries. If you saw my other strawberry video, well, that was a different story on strawberries. This one, I would like to tell you what we're going to do, which is dipping strawberries. And that's something I've done since I literally was a kid. And I would dip strawberries and then bring them to some kind of party or function. And it was a very elegant, simple, and inexpensive thing to bring. And it always drew a lot of people that were impressed to see dipped strawberries. And now you can buy them at different places in a mall. They're very expensive to buy, but I'm going to show you how to do it yourself, and they're very fun to do and cheap. Now, the strawberries that I'm starting with, interestingly, we are in Florida right now, and there are lots of Publix grocery stores, and I was looking for good tasty strawberries. They had some in their regular plastic package, and they were priced at $3.99 for the little package. And the strawberries did not look very good at all that day. So I looked in another section on the aisle and saw a box like this out of cardboard. Actually, it's the same company that the other strawberries were, for the same price, $3.99. But these are like fancy looking giant strawberries. And you actually got more per weight than the other container. I've already eaten, David and I've already had 2 or 3 ourselves out of this, so it was full. But they are beautiful in a nice cardboard container, not plastic, and they were the same price. So I think that was a good deal. Now, what we're going to use, I'm using Ghirardelli melting chocolate. This is dark. I love dark chocolate. You can also buy milk chocolate or white chocolate. If you want to go very, very pretty and fancy, you can do patterns on the strawberries using all different kinds of chocolate or other things like crushed nuts or sprinkles. Today, they're going to be basic dark chocolate dipped strawberries. I hope you join me. Let's start from the beginning. You have to wash your strawberries thoroughly. They are one of the most contaminated fruits, from what I understand, for multiple reasons. It's very important to wash them. Be very gentle when washing strawberries. Turn the water on low so it's not forcefully injecting your strawberries with water. What happens when you wash the strawberries is they start to break down right away. So don't wash your strawberries until right before you're ready to dip them. Also, don't dip your strawberries until the day you're going to use them, because they go bad very quickly. Once you dip them, you need to eat them within a day or 2 at most. They start leaking out yummy juices, and they're not as pretty then. So I'm going to dip them because we have friends coming over in just a few minutes on a holiday, and we're going to have chocolate dipped strawberries. So I'm putting some chocolate in a microwavable container. You can use whatever kind of container you want. Glass, this is plastic. Glass heats up in the microwave. That's not necessarily a bad thing. It will hold or retain the heat longer than plastic, but the timing of microwaving it might change. You have to be very careful microwaving chocolate. It can seize on you very quickly. So microwave your chocolate in small increments, few seconds at a time, until it's melted and you can stir it smoothly. So with our microwave, I'm going to start that chocolate on 30 seconds and then I'm going to stir it. Most likely it's going to need more time, but you don't want to do all your time at once because it will seize on you and then you can't use it. Here we go. And while that's going, I will tell you that white chocolate is the hardest chocolate to work with for melting. I've had lots of white chocolate ruined on me accidentally, inadvertently, doing exactly what you're supposed to, and you still will have problems with white chocolate. So realize that is a more difficult chocolate to melt and work with than dark chocolate or milk chocolate. Let's see how it is. It's almost finished. Okay, so it's melted pretty well, but I will put it back in just for a few more seconds. So the Ghirardelli brand chocolate is a lot nicer than some of the other chocolate brands like that you can buy. I won't mention names. I've used all of them, and they don't always melt the same or taste the same, but this one is very good. If you haven't tried it, I suggest it. Oh, that's beautiful, so smooth. This is beautiful consistency for dipping things in chocolate. Not all the brands come out this consistency. The ones that say candy coating chocolate, I have found to be very, very thick. Even when melted, you end up having to add more, you can add oil. There's different ways of thinning it out, which are tricky because you don't want an oily chocolate. But if it's so thick, you really can't dip things easily in that. This one is very smooth and dippable. So let's see how it turns out when we get those strawberries in it. Okay, now for mise en place preparation, I forgot to mention before that it helps to use wax paper. I am not using wax paper today because I'm not doing a lot of them, or I'm not doing fancy patterns. I'm just using a paper plate. But if you have a lot of strawberries, you would be better off using a countertop or something with wax paper on top, and that way your strawberries can be all laid out, and then you can pull them off easily. You can also decorate them easily without it getting everywhere, and it's easily removable. But today I'm using a paper plate. Strawberry wise, if you go strawberry picking and you want to dip your strawberries, leave a long stem on there. That's a tip, because then you have that beautiful long stem to dip them with as a little handle, and they look pretty that way. But when you buy them usually at a grocery store or a market, they've already removed the stem, so it's a little tricky. You have to just try to take the leaves that are on the strawberry and grab them with your fingers lightly so you're not pulling them off, and that's what you'll hold. You could also stick a skewer in there, and then we're gonna tilt the chocolate so everything comes down to a point, and then we're gonna dip it in. You can always double dip if you like extra chocolate. I kind of just hold it down in there and roll it around to get as much as I can on the coverage, and then I let it drip off, and then you put it on your either wax paper, or in my case, a paper plate. Look how gorgeous that is. Now it's not going to hard yet. You have to wait probably about 15 minutes. It just depends on the chocolate and the temperature in your room. Don't put them in the refrigerator, because if you refrigerate them, it will turn your chocolate a cloudy color, not so shiny and beautiful like it is. Let's do some more. As you see, there's a lot of chocolate left, and I am not going to finish dipping the remaining strawberries. I'm going to leave those undipped for those that don't want chocolate on their fruit. And if you find yourself, well, I don't need any more fruit dipped right now, one thing you can do is let the chocolate that is melted sit there and re-harden. And as long as you use it within the next couple of days, you can eat it, or you can remelt it and dip it in some fruit later on. You don't have to throw it out. Cover it after it dries and hardens, cover it up, and then just leave it at room temperature so it doesn't cloud up, and you can remelt it very quickly. If you used a paper plate like I did, then here's another tip. You don't want to, when you're ready to remove the strawberry from the plate, either to replate it or to eat it, don't just yank it up by the leaf, because it'll probably rip it and pull some of the chocolate off in the meanwhile. So what I do is I gently push up, kind of like you would in an with an ice tray from the bottom, underneath each berry, and it helps the chocolate pop up and release off of the surface of the plate like that, just gently underneath, and then you should be able to remove it a little easier and cleaner. Ha ha. There we go. Beautiful, beautiful. There we go. Now, look at that beautiful, elegant plate of chocolate dipped strawberries. That's a very easy thing to bring, and everybody will be impressed.